My ex-wife cheated before and during her pregnancy. We have a baby girl now, but she accuses me of being emotionally manipulative because I am cold and distant during the custody switches. I'm 31, and I found out my now ex-wife, 27, had been cheating on me last year when she was 6 months pregnant. The affairs happened before and during the pregnancy. She had reasons and excuses and didn't want to get a divorce. She wanted to stay together and do couples therapy. I told her to go ahead and get therapy, but cheating was a deal breaker for me, so we got a divorce. The house was mine before we got married, so she moved back in with her parents, who had enough room to set up a nursery and give my ex the guest room. We agreed to an even 50-50 split of custody. My ex-wife has our daughter Sunday to Wednesday, and the original plan was for her to drop her off at daycare on Wednesday morning, and my nanny picked her up around noon and brought her back to my house, where my daughter would stay with me until Saturday night or Sunday morning, depending on what worked best for everyone. Then my ex said she thought the daycare was misplacing some things she was sending in for her to bring to my house, because a few times our daughter came home short some bottles or without her binky. So, ex said she wanted to drop our daughter off at our house directly to make sure all of her things get to me. So, she started picking her up from daycare on her breaks and dropping her off here. I work from home Wednesdays and Fridays. Even so, I'm working. When ex began dropping off Nadine at my house, it was normally about 12:30. My daughter's nanny, nice old lady from Barbados, not sure of her age, but I'd say late 50s, was the one to answer the door for my ex and take my daughter and her things since I was in my office working. Ex began saying she wanted to speak to me directly when she dropped off. She said she felt like she was unloading a lot on the nanny and didn't want her to forget to tell me anything. I would be lying if I said I didn't still have some resentment and anger towards my ex. I don't want my daughter to see that though. So when I talk to my ex, I try to be as emotionally even as possible. Just talk about the things that pertain to my daughter and no more. At today's drop-off, Nadine had a dirty diaper, so her nanny took her upstairs to change her. My ex asked me how I was doing, and I told her I was fine, thank you, and then began to walk back to my office. She sees herself out. She used to live there. As I was walking away, she says, "You know, I'm getting really sick of your shit." I didn't even get a chance to ask her what shit she was talking about when she just started freaking out, saying I was emotionally manipulating her by being cold and distant, that she shouldn't be punished forever for her mistakes, and how me hating her is the same as me hating my daughter. I let her finish yelling and then told her to leave. I think my best bet is to go no contact with her again and not see her for drop-offs anymore. But I was looking for some other perspectives or opinions on the matter if you might have them. Best comments, OP answers a couple of questions. I don't know how no contact would work with even sharing of your daughter's time. Definitely as little contact as possible. Continue being a stonewall. You could say you, and I don't need to have an emotional connection. All we do is handle business with our daughter. I mean, no contact aside from things that have to do with our daughter. If she was cheating before and while pregnant, she lacks morals and she is not a good person. Chances are she probably victimized herself to her parents, or they are just a tool as she is. It appears that your ex is hoping for a reconciliation, trying to find ways to see you. Since that's not an option for you, returning to no contact is best. You'll need to get over her betrayal enough that you can be in the same room with her for your daughter's sake, but nothing more is required. I can still be in the same room and be cordial to her. I just don't want to make small talk and be friends. My worry here would be her starting to lie and tell people you're being emotionally abusive or mistreating your daughter because you don't want a relationship with her outside co-parenting. Yes, that's what I'm worried about too. I want to keep things as civil as possible. Have you told her you don't want a relationship with her outside of co-parenting? I made that clear to her the night I found out she cheated, and several times since. First off, did you get a paternity test done on your daughter? If not, do so. I got a paternity test once I found out she cheated. You are doing everything right from what I've read. Stay the course. Cheated while pregnant? Wow. Definitely meant for the street. Stay the course. Myself and others who are in your same spot are behind you. Update number 1, 5 days after the first post. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who took the time to comment their support, sympathies, and advice. I didn't get a chance to respond to all the comments, but I read and appreciate them all. There were so many great suggestions. Someone suggested a website called Talking Parents, which I believe is going to be a great resource for my ex-wife and I. The thing I need to keep reminding myself is that in 5 or 10 years, the negative and betrayed feelings I have for my ex-wife will most likely fade, but a hostile relationship between the two of us will impact our daughter forever. Because of this, I sat down with my ex-wife and had a recorded conversation about our situation. I was very open and honest with her. I told her that I still had negative feelings towards her as my ex-wife, but as the mother of my child, I would always treat her civilly and respectfully, but we had to have boundaries. I told her that we are going back to the original plan, where she drops her off at the daycare Wednesday mornings and my nanny picks her up in the afternoon. We're going to communicate through the website which items should be sent home with her, so the nanny can double-check to make sure she has everything. My ex-wife isn't happy. I think she was coming to my house in hopes of reconciliation, but I told her respectfully, but in no uncertain terms, that it was never going to happen. But I would love to evolve our relationship as awesome co-parents to an amazing little girl, and maybe one day, friends. Again, thank you to everyone who took the time to reply to my post. This community has been a wonderful resource for me. I hope you all have a wonderful night.